table immediately. Think Rogue probably go with one of those, you know, engaged supports to go with the Kalista then, since they do have that Viktor to really carry the brunt of the DPS. Aphelios has been one of the most popular, and since the Draven is already banned out, they're already feeling a lot better about these matchups. I say Varus probably as well. Definitely been a bit of a problem.
And I mean, what Top Esports have done is they've covered their tracks here. Trundle's good into Maokai jungle, Gnar's good into Maokai top. So unless this goes support, they should be pretty happy in matching this Maokai top side. But there's the Jarvan ban that we talked about. There's the Renata ban that we talked about. These are the picks that Rogue wants to enable their comp, depending on how flexible this Maokai is. Could also still go to support. We just talked about it. We'll see if Trymbi's got that up his sleeve.
That's
we saw Hylissang as well play it.
Yeah, that's a ban right there you get for having Malrang on your team. It's like, good job, you have Malrang. There you go. You get the Jarvan ban here on 5.
The courtesy ban does come through there. I really, like, the more I look at this draft from CES, the more I actually like the Trundle a lot, because odoamne has looked so good on these tanks, and I'd be looking at this being like, oh, he should just lock on as soon as they can and flex the Maokai, but it becomes a little bit more difficult with that subjugate available.
I thought they would ban Varus there instead of the Tristana. But just respecting JackeyLove having a match of bot lane for all-in pressure. We'll see what JackeyLove opts into here. I think picking AD makes the most sense, just so you can see where the Maokai is going. There's the Varus that we expected. So just covering tracks again here, Rogue, making sure that bot lane is not as volatile in the early stages.
Because you know JackeyLove is really ready to use those Tristana buffs, jump right in, look for that all-in kill immediately. All right, what's the support pairing going to be here for the Kalista? Trymbi, what you got for us?
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. As Malrang, this is actually how he first managed to debut in the LCK all those years ago. Was playing absolutely amazingly Zen.
Leeson into Trundle too feels like you always have so many options for playmaking. Like you can really, really style on them. If you're able to play to these lanes very aggressively.
Is it going to be the Kalista Soraka or the Rogue special and then have the Maokai on the top side? Maybe Trymbi thinking about a little bit more engaged. The problem is with Nautilus, you run into Varus Tahm Kench. It could be a little bit of a tough one. So Rakan to cover that off to make sure the Tahm Kench is going to be picked up. I think Leona Nautilus here from Top Esports would make sense.
Yeah, definitely agree. Get some aggressive kill pressure there onto the Viktor for these team fights.
The thing that I really love about the Rakan pick is that I would have liked to Tahm Kench as this last pick spot, but Rakan does kind of block that off a little bit.
Does indeed.
Oh, they're deciding between kill pressure or the poke pressure there with the Karma, flirting with lane dominance. You're constantly throwing out the mantra Qs as well as the arrows, and they end up going for the Leona for the kill instead. Now, the Rakan here, you got to think that he's going to pick up the Tenacity runes, or otherwise it's so hard of a matchup into Leona. You need that Tenacity to get the breakpoint to be able to get right back out. Otherwise, Leona locks you up and burst the Rakan, turn it into such a squishy support, makes it so risky.
Yeah, it's these melee engaged supports that do really well into the Rakan, so bot lane will be a little bit more contested here. Rogue using the Rakan as more of a team fighter than a lane dominator. The Viktor, Rakan, Maokai, a lot of team fight here. I think it's been a while since we've seen Malrang and Trymbi on these two champions, mostly been towards Enchanter metas, Malrang and early game junglers. Now we've got a lot more playmaking coming out of the Rogue jungle support. We'll see what they can get done.
Yeah, and it does put odoamne still on a tank there towards that top side in that Maokai. Not going to be flexing it. You just sat with the pick the entire time and is going to be playing it here. So it'll be a tough time a little bit towards that top lane against the Gnar, but I think that he should be able to get into that team fight status, which we all know and love him for. We'll see whether Rogue can make this one work, because like you were saying, I just feel like we haven't seen that much Rakan at all this world.
Yeah, it's mostly been like the melee supports or the enchanters, a little bit of Tahm Kench. We saw Thresh rise up a bit from JDG, especially, and T1, but ever since those games, we haven't seen him since 2013 World Shirt there. OG.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Let's get into it. Round 2 of LEC versus LPL.
And will Rogue be able to stay undefeated? Gentlemen, that is my question to you. Is this draft going to be enough to do it? We'll see whether it's going to happen, as here we are onto the Rift for our second game of the day. The second time the LPL is taking on the LEC.
Are they going to do some level 1 shenanigans here with Rakan dashing over the wall, hiding on the bush, waiting for the W? Trymbi's hovering around. If he W's over here and hides on the bush, then they can catch Tian out with a knock-up. He's going to walk in. Is he Tian going to check the bush? Yes, he is. So that level 1 cheese won't happen. See if they get a ward there.
Yeah. He's going to crab rave, though. So at least that's a win. And TES will move in towards this bottom side, get some vision for themselves.
Yeah.
So it looked like it was going to be exciting, and then it just wasn't as much.
Yeah, you can be really creative with Rakan on the level 1s. You've got so many walls you can jump over to try to find an angle to flank someone who's just standing in the normal spot, 5-pointer, and then look for that kill or the flash blown. So ward on the enemy red buff. Rogue actually choosing not to put a ward down on the top side of the map. Trymbi has swapped over to the sweeper.
And look at this retake of vision around red here for Rogue. Very cautious. They know that Top Esports could still be in there, so they're waiting for Larssen to come over and Trymbi to get that sweeper, so they can kill off the sweeper off red. Then Malrang comes over. So they did not show Larssen as they kill the ward.
I think that Malrang was
got a
spotted
blip.
a little bit on as the ward was dying. But one thing I will say is, if you look at the scoreboard there, Tian actually used his sweeper. What you can do is you can walk into the enemy jungle and then just walk out. And they're not sure if you placed the ward. Most likely you did, so they may as well sweep it. But in this case, Rogue didn't. So no level 2 for the early lane in the solo laners. Tian gonna go red Raptors. Malrang will probably do something very similar. Both bot lanes arrive. And we'll see how the trading goes across the board. Level 1 incredibly strong for the Leona and Odo.
Yeah, level 1 maybe really strong for the Maokai as well.
Looks like it.
As Wayward's going to trade back very nicely and just even it out entirely.
Of course, last time we saw odoamne on that Maokai as we go in for a bottom side trade.
Yeah,
He
grand
does get the knockup.
entrance. Yeah, a bit of damage there onto JackeyLove as the Rend gets pulled out, but is going to have to back away. No summoner spells.
Yeah, last time we saw odoamne on that Maokai, though, completely dominated. Problem for him this time around is that TES have a much easier time of killing frontline. Trundle, ultimate to shred. Both Azir and Varus very good at killing frontline too. So he's gonna have to be careful with his positioning. You know, as a tank, a lot of the times it's about avoiding damage and using the threat of your CC to zone people rather than actually soaking up the damage on the front line here. And he's been one of the best at utilizing that positioning and choosing his moments.
So Top Esports will have the information that Malrang has been pathing towards this top side. We'll see what Tian uses with that information, because he didn't actually choose to go down to this bot side, Malrang. With the Kalista Rakan, they're going to crash these waves. I wonder if they're going to take a base here and just try to spend some of the gold. Mark's trying to hold the wave so the range creeps don't go under tower, and they can keep the wave in a safe spot while they're jungler's bot side. So Malrang's actually backtracking. He went clear towards top, skipped wolves, now he's going back down towards this bot grab, but if Tian has smite, he should be able to pick it up pretty easily. Might look for a gank towards mid as well, and Tian will get spotted on the ward.
Yeah, not going to be near this grab like you were talking about, but is going to make his way down here. Able to get in just quickly enough, but now, yeah, exactly right. There is the safeguard forward from Malrang, does tag him with that red buff. Grand Entrance gets the flash out of Tian, but here's the rest of Top Esports. Knight on the first rotation over as well, as Malrang going to be able to pick up the crab. Now Knight in fog of war for a moment, standing in that brush as he does shift some sands over. Only level 4, so not going to be shuffling or anything like that, as this is a lot of people in this battle. 4v4, Comp getting taken down first, though that's first blood for JackeyLove. Knight's going to flash his way out. And Rogue, can they get a kill back in this exchange? It looks like the answer's no.
And it's Mark with the flash E here for the Leona, catches Comp, and it gets the first blood for Top Esports for the bottom side. Varus now. JackeyLove gets paid.
It was basically a double sandwich, wasn't it? Malrang and Trymbi wanted to collapse onto TM, they get his flash, but then Knight collapses onto the 3-man, but Knight can't really offer that much. Larssen a little bit further behind, so Tian gets spotted on the ward. Mark misses the Zenith Blade, they collapse on top of him, get his flash. It looks good initially, but Knight has the mid push, so he comes down first, and Comp is the focus. Ever since he left this bot lane, Mark's kept his eye on him, and he's been chasing him the entire way.
Exactly, they burn flash here with the first E from Mark, and he's waiting for his cooldown. When his E comes back up, he goes again for another play onto Comp, and he saw the problem there. Trymbi was isolated up towards blue buff, so Rogue had to run from the 3v4. Mark gets it here into the mid lane, and JackeyLove credit for the kill.
Tried to trade back there, and Trymbi gets a knock-up, and maybe if Malrang's Q connected, Knight would have died, but the flash came through. Tian back on this bot side, based and ran straight down to this bot lane. Wave's in a good spot for Rogue to hold it near their tower, so I'm not sure if there will be too much action. JackeyLove yet to base and spend that gold. Maybe Top Esports are trying to crash that wave so they could take that base, but they'll have to take it on the chin, let it sit there for now, lose a couple of minions, and they will recall.
Yeah, it feels to me like I'm looking at the entire summer season, right? Pick Trundle, sit him in the bottom lane the entire time. I was told that things had changed, but they certainly have not so far for the early game for Top Esports. It has netted them slight gold advantage, but no real issues And Comp, even though he did fall down, he's still ahead in farm due to that early game that the Kalista will provide.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Tian's going to get the Wolves, and we'll see what he gets done. His top crab just spawned there. Looks like Malrang will be able to pick that one up with the smite, and top lane been in isolation. Odo doing a pretty good job, you have to imagine, in this range matchup with Wayward having the counter pick, but the Gnar will offer a lot in team fights. Malrang's maybe going to ward jump over here and dodge that ward in the river. They will have a lot of CC for the Lee Sin.
Yeah, well, twisted advance. Difficult to avoid there as he throws out the ultimate as well. Odoamne trying to lock him down for long enough. His Wayward is very dead. Malrang not even going to get an assist because, yeah, the tree did enough by himself.
Yeah, I mean, that is the correct play there. As Wayward, you're like, well, I've been outplayed, I see. And now he wants to deny. You get extra 50% gold for the team of Rogue if they were able to get an assist on it. So he goes over to his death, accepts it. They're into the tower. Another good move there from Malrang, though.
I thought what he would do there is kind of jump towards the enemy tower, then flash over that big wall into the blue side, and try to kite them out, waste their time. But maybe he just hit the creep.
Straight to Valhalla!
Yeah, straight to But maybe he just hit the creep by accident and realized, oh, this is a bit too much of a jump, and then took 2 tower shots. So regardless, Malrang gets nothing. Odo gets the kill. Odo doesn't have to burn the flash. Saves the TP as well, which will help in case he takes a bad trade. No unleashed TP for quite a while. And we'll see if Rogue tried to help out this bot side a little bit more. Small CS lead for Comp because of that freeze that JackeyLove had to base on despite him getting the first blood, but gold pretty even across the board.
Yeah. No real issues one way or the other. Definitely a funny situation there.
Yeah, I think it's just so scary if you're playing against Maokai with no flash, too. It's like, whenever odoamne wants to guarantee the all-in, then you're just at the mercy of the tree W. Tian now trying to retake some control of the top side, though, as he comes over with the sweeper for Knight.
Yeah, he's been everywhere this game, trying to get these ganks happening. Now just going to pass over the mid lane. A little bit of a drive-by. And heading down towards the Hexdrake, which is going to be the first one of this game. Don't think he's going to take it just yet, although might have a look around. They've got a lot of vision.
Yeah, a lot of vision. There might be a fight in bot actually in the minimap. I think Trymbi just jumped in. The thing I was going to say is the reason I'm excited for JackeyLove on this Varus is because it's a very immobile AD carry, but he is the highest death AD carry in the league, but one of the highest damage. Might be in trouble.
Oh, grand entrance for the double. JackeyLove going to get taken down as you say it, Kadril. And now Mark is well and truly dead. Get Malrang an assist. Come on, he's done it again. As Comp is going to be flashed away from. And Mark will be able to go home.
Yeah, I was just about to say, JackeyLove, highest deaths of all AD carries, I think, in the LPR or in the league. And then one of the highest damage dealers as well. So very high risk, high reward player. Gets caught out there in the 2v2, and now it's a huge CS lead for Comp on this Kalista.
That was also just such a good timing for Rogue because Malrang got level 6 off the Krugs, level 6 advantage on the jungle matchup, so they know, all right, we just have to force this as hard as we can. It looked even easier than that, and they get double summoners off of that Varus too, so Jackie will be very vulnerable for the foreseeable future. While this dragon is contested.
I think the way top esports have been playing this game, you highlighted it, Atlas, as Tian's been everywhere. I think Tian's hovering around mid because they want to shuffle Larssen into the Trundle. No flash on the Viktor, but Larssen's been playing with so much respect, giving up push tonight, catching waves on the tower. They haven't been able to find a pick on Tim, and now they've swapped their bot lane here, Rogue. Kalista's come towards the top side. By the looks of it, this could be a full swap. They can get the Herald, Odo can TP bot to catch the wave, and then they can force a dive onto Wayward.
Yeah, I love those plays where you cover the other side as well. odoamne, he started channeling his recall, but then he cancels it. Now he wants to go for the kill instead.
Yeah, Wayward gonna get the hop, but doesn't get the double jump. Comp gonna come on over as he wants to be able to pull in Trymbi. Does have the Fate's Call available, and yeah, this Gnar, I don't think he's going to quite be mega enough, as he does go up to 50%, but he throws the house at the minions, gets the Gnar back. He does the best that he can, but he was dead a while ago.
Yeah, and he holds his flash, and he buys as much time as he could for JackeyLove on bottom side to try and get some turret plates, but there's your Odo teleport to cover the counterplay on the cross map attempt.
Odo just recalls in Wayward's face there, knows he can't get stopped. Look how safe Larsen's playing. He has no flash, he knows the jungle support's hovering, he knows that Knight wants to jump on top of him with the shuffle, and when Trymbi's around to cover, that's when he will back away. It's going to sting for Odo a little bit, despite being 3 levels up. The jungle support of top esports own this bot side jungle, so no plates be made mid, but they will move towards this bot side. Odo has flash, Trymbi's helping Larssen get the push out.
All right, Knight going to keep shoving forward, and so far this has been absolutely fantastic for Rogue, outside of the fact that JackeyLove has been doing great work here towards the bottom lane. Okay, there's the trophy that goes down. Of course, odoamne is pretty tanky. There's the Bramble Smash as well. Trymbi coming on in. Not a lot of damage to offer, but does have the CC as JackeyLove rotates down. Speaking of damage, he is pretty dangerous. Doesn't have the ult at the moment. Rogue get away.
And the problem is you have to answer Rift Herald pushes here. Trying to get the second push off. Eyeball is popped there for Wayward for top esports in the minimap, though. So it's going to be the one tower.
Just wandering forward here. Gets the knock-up onto Tian.
Froggies!
that was very cute. It's like everyone's like, well, I don't think we can kill anyone here. And they just hang out.
Yeah, Malrang right behind the support top there. Trymbi might be in trouble if he face checks that bush. He knows they're recalling it, maybe looking to cancel some bases, but doesn't want to force too much of a fight. No dragon taken from either side. Top tier 1 has fallen. All the gold went over to comp, and I think that's the important thing here. Rogue invested so much top to get the kill onto Wayward that when he died, Trymbi actually just based and ran bot to help out odoamne on picking up some of those creeps to make sure that he didn't die. One plate left on that bot tower. That comp is now back in that lane.
Yeah, such a power move from Rogue there to make the early recall off that pushing lane. They knew JackeyLove had to give them space with no summer spells. They got the early play down. TES, though, they're reset and they're going for the dragon already.
Oh, dear. It's looking a bit like the orange buff at this point in the game. Malrang's just going to punish Wayward. Picks up his second of the game as Knight holds onto the flash. A very small shifting sands. It's going to be enough to get him to safety.
Wayward's not having a good game here. A lot of focus up towards his top side. Initial death was Malrang. Second death, Malrang was there. And third one, he finally gets the kill he was looking for. And comp might be in trouble. Mark's actually looking for Trymbi, though.
Mark and Trymbi have just been hanging out together so far this game, but this time he's going to turn it into violence. Immediately, Trymbi does go into his stopwatch, though. It's not going to be enough conquering sands to secure that one. And oh, no! Picks the flash. Knight's Azir will lock down a double.
The roam from Knight. The Emperor has spoken. 2 kills, and they're going to finish up on bottom side while Larssen's trying to get a turret plate mid here. Tian can try and pillar, but the damage has been done.
It really has, and they'll get the tower as well, like you highlighted. 2 kills for this Azir now, double kill for Knight. They were looking mid so many times for Larssen, but it's the roam that gets the Azir ahead.
Knight had gotten such an early Leandries too. This whole time while he's poking out Trymbi, he forego the boots, just immediately completed that, and then went and got a double kill. So strong now. Did have to use his flash, so might be a little bit more vulnerable. See if they can get any payback.
It's going to be difficult. Let's have a look at the play one more time.
Yeah, it's Trymbi getting caught and then Mark committing onto him. Knight dashes over the wall to make sure the kill happens. And Comp, where does he go? The tower's about to die, so he has to run towards this tier 2. Finds Mark, and Knight tries to flash over the push, but it pushes him even still back into the team in the waiting arms of JackeyLove. But it's Knight who gets the kill. Double kill for the Azir with the Leandries already.
Very difficult moment here for Rogue, as TES have been relying on Knight so much. Still, definitely in there with a shot, and still have a slight gold advantage as well, as that grand exit was fantastic from Trymbi. Some into safety as TES get control of the river, but not too much more than that. Of course, no Rift Herald for the rest of the game.
So with those towers down too, they make the shift to have Wayward go bottom, Knight pushes out top with no flash for himself, and then just rotates over to the mid lane while we still have turret plates for another 20 seconds. JackeyLove gonna get the last little bit of turret plate money.
Oh, value right there. Comp underneath this turret does have to be respectful. Tian's going to move on over, and yeah, there's the smite. odoamne not going to be able to get the big chicken.
Really like that simple macro from Knight, you know, just pushing out on top first, rotates over to the mid lane so they have that extra power, knowing that he's vulnerable, you know, has no teleport, no flash, gets the early move.
And they're pressuring this mid tower so much. Larssen, no TP, of course. See if they can get this, and they will. So 2 towers so far for top esports. Rogue traded for top push, which means Larssen will have a turn to come down to help the mid contest of vision, as Knight wants to catch that top wave. See if they can look for Mark here. He has flash, so if they overcommit, could get baited into the rest of top esports, but a knock-up will land. Couple of modes shared across, and Odo being pushed in bot with no TP means that if they were to commit their Rogue, Wayward could TP up there.
I like how cordial the support emote game is compared to everyone else's emote game where they're doing the question marks and stuff, and supports are so nice about it.
And Wayward's crying a little bit here as he's had a difficult early stage of the game. You can see he's still in high spirits, especially with how other lanes have been going so far here for TES. Gnar, and yeah, Odo's not going to have too much damage on this Maokai, so you're not going to be feeling too worried here if you've got some information around the map. As the Gnar.
It's going to take a base there in the Mega Form, and let's not forget, in this group, DRX are sitting at 2-1, Top Esports 1-1, Rogue 2-0, so if Top Esports win here, we have a 3-way tie in
Another
the
one.
group, similar to Group A with the EDG, T1 and Fnatic situation. So EU currently down 0-1 to LPL. They'll see if they can even it up. Right now they're down in gold a bit, but they might find Knight. No flash.
Oh dear, there's the quickness. All of the knockups come forward. Not going to be the best Emperor's Divide, but that shifting sands was fantastic.
I'm surprised he got the ult off. I thought he was chain CC'd there for a little bit, but he manages to push them back, so Malrang can't connect with the Q2. Herald is up. That's what both these teams are fighting over. Knight doesn't have the TP, but that's 3 ultimates used for Rogue, so it's going to be very hard if they want to contest this.
Exactly, it's about the resources invested into that. Such a huge play from Knight just to weather the storm there and escape with his life. Plus the Ignite was used for Trymbi, so Top feeling so good about that. That play just relieves so much pressure on the map, allows the reset, and now they can immediately start up the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and I think it'll be theirs because if you look at the minimap, there was a couple of blue team pings on the bot side of the map. I think Comp's just calling, maybe we can look for a dragon here when they need to take a base. If we can get one more mid-wave in, that's our next objective. But right now, no movement on the map. Trymbi's coming out of base. Malrang still hovering on this top side, and Odo has the bot push.
Yeah, that was such a big bridge play there for Top. And the timing works out for all these neutral objectives now. So with the Rift Herald picked up, transition down to bottom side now. They've got control wards in inventory to place as well. Knight went back, he did his duty, he's got his control ward. They've got 2 extra ones here for Mark. Just come down to the dragon, set those up in advance, and you can look for your pick.
And what has Rogue traded for? I mean, they could try to push towards this top tier too, but they have no tower damage whatsoever, so they're going to push in waves. Maybe they'll try to stop Knight from getting to top to catch that wave. Malrang's hovering in this jungle. Odo has the TP. Top Esports will move to Dragon, but Mark wants to escort the Azir to catch this top wave. So Top Esports a bit split here. Looks like Dragon isn't the call despite having all the vision around it. They want to make sure Knight can keep on farming on this Azir.
Yep, wanting to stop Larssen from getting too much damage on this inner turret as well. They are going to be able to deter them from that one as Malrang safeguards and does get a solar flare for his troubles as well. Not too bad at all. You mentioned the amount of vision that Top Esports have had, and that bottom side of the map has belonged to them for so long, as JackeyLove does need to be a little bit careful here. There is a fair bit of CC follow-up.
Yeah, it was a really good play from TS to actually just deny the power move from Rogue, but now, after the first top wave has been pushed in, Rogue can sweep into this river, start to kill out some of the vision. They found 2 of the control wards, 1 left over here on the top side, though, behind them for a possible Wayward flank. Teleport's ready for that Gnar, and Mega is building.
Yeah, he's just diving
right
in on
into
top
Odo.
of odoamne. Yeah, he doesn't really need that teleport, as it turns out, as Rogue are going to move back. There's the twisted advance. odoamne getting a lot of CC, but where is the follow-up? Oh no, the tree's going to fall down. JackeyLove gets that one. Wayward is going to gnaw the air, but still, it's a bit of a celebration here as they are going to get control of this dragon.
Yeah, who needs a flank when you get a bunch of damage right on the front line there? They burn him down, and as we said from Champ Select, Trundle ult on the Maokai is going to be way less tanky than the last time around Odo had him. Azir and Varus both very good at killing that front line. The Leandri's build, the proc from the Varus as well, and they burn down the Maokai.
We'll have a look at this one again because Rogue a little bit split. They want to try to stop Top Esports from getting into this choke, but Odo's a little bit too far. Larssen pokes with the laser, but it's the pillar where I thought odoamne would just flash over the wall and say, you know what, I'm a bit caught here, I'll flash out. But then he goes back in, sidesteps the Gnar stun and says, let's go guys, let's take this fight. It looks good, gets a knock up, gets the ult across, but how does Rogue really join him? There's a pillar in their way, they're slowed. Malrang, if he jumps over, will get Gnar'd into the wall, so the carry's not really finding the right angle.
Yeah, there was almost no DPS at all from Rogue during that tanking instance there for odoamne. We talked about trying to avoid actually soaking damage there, getting in range with your carries and getting coordinated there. Big difference. TS though, see what they can actually do. That's 2 dragons now. The pressure really starting to mount.
Yep. It's a bit dangerous as well. With the fact that there is a Kalista on the side of Rogue, they do need to be very careful about managing that range situation with the fact that it is hard for her to get all of those autos happening. Secret Agent Trymbi here towards the top side is hoping that Mark just leaves him alone, but there is the blind Zenith Blade, and they spot him out.
TP.
How are we going to get out of this one is the question. He says thank you to Knight, and he will just taxi his way out. Get some quickness going. There's a twisted advance as well, double knockup. Trymbi turning it on his head. He will go down, but is the trade going to be worth it? Absolutely! The double knockup with the kick. Mark going to try and walk it out, but Knight is dead, and that's so important for Rogue here in this fight. Comp's going to turn up, and it turns out they didn't need him.
Wayward with the Mega decides not to look for the turn. JackeyLove was in River a little bit split, but a huge fight for Rogue.
Special Agent Trymbi, who's catching who here? What a genius! He gets the kill onto the Azir. Knight, though, does have teleport.
Wayward's like, nah, it turns out I don't want to be in there. As JackeyLove, the gravity field's fantastic. The cleanse, brilliant here to keep him alive, but the health bars are getting low. Comp does have the rend available. That's the only secure they have. He does manage to do it here. As Wayward not going to get knocked off, but the positioning's fantastic. Rogue! Have turned it on its head. The shutdown and the triple for Comp.
Rogue pull it off. They turn the top fight. They start the Baron. Everyone's health bars were below 10%. Mark flashes in to try to finish off Malrang. They get the Baron and the kills.
Oh my goodness! It's Trymbi's master plan. Subscribe. They get all the kills. They get the Baron. Are you kidding me? It all starts right here.
So Trymbi caught by 3 members of Top Esports. He calls for the TP and charms all 3 of them. Knight pushes him back to stop the knockup. And when odoamne arrives, it's a 3 versus 3. Malrang's behind them. 4 versus 3. And then let's watch Malrang here. Just 4 jumps forwards. Brutal onto Knight. Kick flashes him. Knight has nowhere to go. Wayward wants to look for the turn, but can't really find the angle. Doesn't have the vision in that bush to decide to jump in. And then Rogue turn for a burn.
Yeah, the single most important kill they could get. They take down the Azir. They burn it down here. JackeyLove doing so much damage. Starting to get worried for Rogue. You know, with all this poke damage, him and Odo getting so low in there, but the smite early as well for health on the Baron.
Yeah, otherwise Malrang would have died, and JackeyLove tries to steal it with his Q. Doesn't go for Malrang, tries for the Baron, but Comp has the end. Let's watch Mark here on the right. Just says, you know what, Flashy, I'll try to kill the enemy jungler. JackeyLove gets caught because he has no summoners, and then the 3 kills come through. Shutdown onto Comp on screen there. We can see bot tower is gone. Top Esports are pressuring the mid-tier too, though, so they've picked that one up. Rogue very happy with that play.
Yeah, they are. They're ecstatic with that. TS did not even get the kill on the Malrang because the Gore Drinker is just enough health to save him from Mark flashing in now wearing Baron buff. Rogue are coming for those towers. TS, though, have them trapped.
Yep, inner turret is going to go down. TS trying to get in here. There's the teleport for the defense. Larssen coming on in. 4 members down here, and TS not going to be able to do anything just yet. Yeah, Trymbi, he's got another idea. There's the Solar Flare, connects onto the Kalista, but no cleanse necessary, no follow-up available. And all right, the ulti's going to just cruise on through. They do manage to get one of the snares as Mark goes down to 50%. Trymbi going to get a few of those autos forward. odoamne frontlining beautifully. And TS, it looks like they're confused. That's like mainly because of Trymbi being just crazy this game.
I think they thought they had a collapse. Maybe the comms were to force out a Viktor TP, but I'm not sure where Top Esports knew where odoamne was. He wasn't actually with the team at the time, so there was a window for an engage, but Trymbi going in with odoamne not behind him means he has to go out, but like JackeyLove, no flash!
Oh dear, yep, he's not getting out of this one. That is impossible. The Rend will pick it up and Comp collects another kill this game. They'll take themselves the outer turret mid lane and they'll try to augment that with an inner as well.
You could tell JackeyLove knew he should not be there right then.
It was a sheepish death. It definitely was.
He shouldn't be there, and yet he was. Another kill and the tower for Rogue. They can retreat over to the Dragon. Already we see them going right for it. This is so critical. Stopping Top Esports from Dragon stacking here. Rogue have found their second win.
And Rogue was a team in Europe. Hang on a second. Mark might find odoamne as they tried to back away. odoamne could look for the re-engage of the ult, but they decide against it. Rogue was a team in Europe, but every time they went to Worlds, European fans would believe in G2 and Fnatic. Every time they went to playoffs, no one really believed that they would win a split, but now they've won their first split in summer 2020. They come to Worlds, they're 2-0 in the group, they're up in gold against Top Esports, against Tian, the world champion, who knocked down G2, and they're sitting very comfortably in this game as odoamne stops Wayward from getting that top tower.
And all I'm thinking about was the Trymbi interview, where he's talking about Rogue time doesn't exist. Well, this game, it's just been Trymbi time in that mid game when that's supposed to be happening. He's certainly denied that that was ever a thing, and I'm absolutely here for it because his Rakan, I don't know how it's been working, but it's been working beautifully.
Yeah, surprised to see Lee and Rakan coming out of Rogue, but the execution is there. Punishing Top Esports on overextensions on the top side, pressuring them out here. The Baron buff faded a couple minutes ago, and 2 minutes on the next Nash. Rogue trying to control this top side of the map, taking away their first Dragon of the game to stop Top Esports being on Soul Point. Comp building towards that 4th item. Larssen trying to get the Rabadons right now. We'll see what Top Esports can do to respond though, because the Azir, lots of scaling. The Trundle can always ult the Maokai, so we'll see how the front to back goes for Top.
Yeah, it's going to be critical how they start these fights out. Even an extra second of DPS on the front line is going to give you such a big head start. And so they're camping brush right now, trying to defend their own territory. RTES with the encroaching vision coming here for Rogue. They've got the speed of the Rakan engage and the width of the Maokai engage. Can cover such a big distance here, especially in the jungle. Make it very hard for TES to maneuver.
Looks like Rogue want to siege this top tier 2. Need to be careful though, because 4-man stack of top esports. No TP wards behind them. Maokai inbound.
Zoning ultimate, but it's not even zoning. Manages to get a couple of these snares. Tian not going to be too worried about it. Of course, King's Tribute and everything else that Trundle has going to keep him very, very healthy. As Comp clears out the minion wave Knight. Going to stay up here to defend this inner turret. Rogue retain control here. The topside jungle, because Wayward is just spending time here in the bot lane.
Is he not going to go for the tower? He's scared that someone could arrive. Could have just picked that one up with a couple more autos and ran away with the mini-Gnar speed, but Rogue haven't left. Top Esports think they're sweeping out vision here.
Yeah, there's the grand entrance. Quickness going to come through as well. Mark just flashes into the waiting arms of Comp. The Chaos Storm going to be there as well. odoamne makes sure that kill comes through. And that is a pick for Rogue. We'll see what they can get for it.
That right there, those two plays are a reward of Rogue's vision work, keeping the fog of war in their favor. You could tell for sure. Wayward thought they were already gone, already recalled. He was so scared he had to get out of there. And the rest of TS also thought they had already recalled and reset to the bomb side to defend. So it affords Rogue the pick.
Rogue's going to start Baron on spawn here. Look at their position. 4-man in the pit. Mark 10 seconds away. Baron's about to spawn. No vision for Top Esports. They realize they're barreling down mid looking for this inhibitor. We'll see if they turn around to try to contest the Baron. Maybe someone from Rogue has the base here, because they could look to just try to get some Nexus towers.
Oh god, are they base racing? Is this Baron Nexus? That is not a trade that you want if you're Rogue, but TS, they are going to back away.
TP.
Not trusting the ability to do it fast enough, and like you say, Larssen is going to turn up. He's got a lot of wave clear, and that is Baron successfully secured the second one of the game here. We'll see how the Rebel Baron power play is going to go.
And that's a far better trade. A Baron for just mid inhibitor is a really, really good gold positive trade you can make, because mid inhibitor is the most easily defended inhibitor to have down. So Rogue now, with the extra pushing power of Baron, they can soak up all these super minions coming down through mid lane. They got the extra cash in and the experience there taking down the Baron, and with those Baron empowered recalls, they immediately get back to defend.
So what will Rogue get done with this Baron? It looks like this top tier 2 should be their first objective, the freest objective on the map. Mid tier 2 similarly. We'll see if they go into a 4-1 setup, because they have no TPs right now. So splitting up the lanes and playing on 2 different ones means that Top Esports could look to engage onto them. They have summoners for the disengage. Trymbi's going to get a little bit of topside vision. Escort comp up here, but Wayward's already getting this wave. We'll see if he's in trouble though. Trymbi's on the way.
Oh no, the hop now on cooldown for Wayward. Does have a large Gnar bar, but there are 2 members of Rogue chasing him down. The alcove, I don't think it's going to be enough to save you unless he does something pretty phenomenal here. Great grand entrance to knock him up. And now Wayward once again running the wrong direction. The Wallop is going to connect. There's a Gnar to say, please leave me alone for goodness sake.
Second time.
The same tower. Wayward's going home.
Oh, but not the way that he wanted to, Kobe. Not the way he wanted to at all. But still, TES move into the bottom side jungle, look to try and get what vision they can. But now with Baron and losing their top laner, TES, the danger is not over yet, and it's going to get worse.
Not at all. 1 minute, 20 seconds left on this buff. Top tier 2 will fall. Rogue will push in mid and look for mid tier 2 as well. Dragon's up in 10, so they have a very simple rotation here of top to mid to bot if they choose to go for it. Comp's just checking if Top Esports match and mark this top wave, and they do. So now we'll see the rotation come into mid. Comp and Trymbi will probably want to move down there. Have to be careful of Tian though, and they're going to start hitting on this mid tier 2. Is Top Esports going to be able to defend it? If they can't, Rogue will turn to the Dragon.
Yeah, really nice rotation of pressure. They get him caught in the gravity field though.
Gravity field's absolutely fantastic, but he is still Trundle, so he stays alive for a really long time. They don't care about it though. They're just going to keep CCing him, and they will be able to take down Tian. And once again, Rogue get another pick.
First pick of the fight. A lot of ultimates used though. Malrang's going in.
I love it. Malrang just in, over and over again. That grand entrance, phenomenal into the back line, and he gets out safely.
He's going in.
No one really dead just yet, apart from Tian from earlier, and Mark is going to survive. Trymbi, what is this? He's surviving forever, and now Comp is frontlining. That cleanse just amazing as he's dominating, takes down the Gnar yet again, and he's screen's been great for so much of this last portion of the game.
They're gonna get the Azir tower down. I'm not so sure how much longer they can stay here. So many ultimate spells, flashes, mana bars are used to make those plays happen. They do not get this mid-tier 3, but they get themselves a couple of kills, and the dragon will fall.
Massive Baron power play for Rogue. Over 4,500 gold and another Ocean Dragon for themselves. Huge, huge stuff, all off of that top side single play.
And it's the Rogue bot lane who are the driving force in that fight. The amount of in and outs they did there to kind of bait top esports in, CC them, pick up the kills, they played that phenomenally. In comp, he was benched last year. Now he's on the world stage taking down the top esports, the second seed from the LPL. Let's watch this again because Tian slowly falls.
Yeah, they mill right through this, Trundle. Look at that. And then Malrang goes back in, kicks him here, says, you're not going anywhere, Tian. They finish off the kill, and here comes the siege.
Let's watch Comp and Trymbi here, because it's just beautiful, isn't it? Malrang initially goes in onto Mark, calling for a dive, but no kick, no ults on the Rogue side, just the Rakan and Kalista. So he charms up, drops tower aggro, then Flash knocks up the carries to peel, gets Kalista ulted in before he can fall too low, then goes back in to knock up Mark, and then back out onto Comp, and then they manage to kite the Gnar.
W away from the arrow. JackeyLove trying to snipe him as well. Trymbi lives the tail. And Wayward then on the front line. Odo just dodges the ultimate there, going in with the W on Maokai. They kill again the front line. Really nicely done.
And Kobe, over your career, you've taught me a lot about faith. But Trymbi's faith in Comp in that play was just unbelievable, pulling him out with like single-digit health.
We just watched the trust fall live on camera here at the inhibitor turret, and Rogue succeeded.
Well, now they're going to see whether they can continue the siege, because that the inhibitor turret in the mid lane still does remain standing, and this is a Kalista comp. Not a lot of siege availability for this one, so they're going to have to play their side lanes well and possibly wait for another Baron in a minute's time.
I think the play here for Rogue, by the looks of it, is just hold top esports in their base as long as possible. Look for mid or top tower if they miss position on lanes, and I think they're going to turn and burn the Baron when it spawns. Flash is coming up here for top esports though, so the turn will be a little bit difficult with odoamne lacking his and Trymbi lacking his. The hard engage, not so hard anymore. We'll see if top esports can hold on. It looks like they should be fine wave clearing. It's just with this TP coming in from Larssen, picking up the Rabadons.
That ward just expired as well in that Tribush on the top side of the map. So TES, things very, very dark outside of their base, like you were talking about.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The LEC champions, and they're looking to come straight through the front door.
Well, they're just going to break it down. All right, that's one way you can do it. Enforced sieging with the help of some brambles. Comp gonna have to deal with his worst enemy, which is a Trundle pillar. But still, absolutely fine. They'll take the turret, not going to be able to get the inhibitor, but still can slink back into this fog of war, and checking through all of these choke points against this Rakan is very, very difficult.
Exactly. Great vision toggle by the observers right now. This is what Rogue have done over and over versus TS. Completely turn out the lights, deny all vision, and then lie and wait. Odo and Trymbi, the special agents.
Yeah,
here comes the turret.
Yeah, in goes Trymbi. That is the quickness getting one onto Mark. Oh my God! It's an absolute god! They'll tidy up the fight! Rogue now looking to close this one out. The inhibitor going to be taken. Knight is still alive. I might have been speaking too soon, but this is 5 versus 3.
European fans rally behind Rogue. They've taken down the LCK. They might just take down the LPL.
Some analysts might say an upset. I say the first seed of Europe has done exactly what we expected and goes 3-0 in their first week of groups. Unless Wayward finds something, not going to be able to. Knight, he is going to be put into the fountain as the Nexus will fall.
They've done it! They're 3-0 in their group! The LEC champions managed to pull it off.
What is happening today, gentlemen? These games have been absolutely absurd. And I don't know what Trymbi had for breakfast this morning, but we need to talk to him because I need some. He was playing absolutely out of his mind.
Really good team play from Rogue this time around. You know, that operation would not have worked out if it wasn't for the setup here. The collapse from the entire team coming through. You mentioned it as Comp, this Kalista on the front line, constantly keeping up extra firepower for the rest of the squad to get out. My goodness. Rogue are on fire. They are undefeated here in the group stage at Worlds.